Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Ash. We have a real fun and exciting treat for you all tonight. We're going to have the ladies do a blind taste test.
That's right.
We're going to pick two bourbons in our personal collection, and we're going to have them give us their review. We're going to have them guess basically MSRP, the proof, and then we're going to have them do a B&A rating, and then ultimately try to guess which
Distiller
or whiskey it
who
is.
distilled it, yeah.
We don't have to get specific on which bourbon it is, so I can just say like
You
Jim
can-
Beam
just-
and call it good.
Close enough, yes.
Well,
We just
so we'll help you guys. Well, I mean, I'll give you a couple hints during the process. Meanwhile, why don't you ladies go out outside the studio? Manuel and I will get the whiskey and we'll pour you some glasses,
All right.
and we'll see what goes on.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. We have Russell's Reserve 10-year,
Yep.
along with
Ben Holiday, their 6th year. This is their bottle and bond. This is the 2024 pick. So,
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I think they're relatively close in profiles. One is a little bit sweeter, so I'm kind of curious to see what the women think and if they can decipher which one that one is. And obviously the MSRP is different on both of them as well. We did label it, so I've got a red label on mine,
And
a yellow label on
this one,
his, and then we've also labeled each of these glasses so we'll know which one they're choosing.
Yeah. All right. Let's
All
get
right,
these
let's
bad
get these
boys
poured and we'll get the girls back in here.
All right. Perfect.
All right, so we got the glasses poured.
Poured. Yeah.
And we've obviously told you we've labeled them. We got ourselves a little something because we can't let the girls drink without us.
That's right.
Now, let's get them in there and let's do a little side wager here.
Okay.
Do you think any of our wives are going to be able to either one, guess the bourbon or whiskey, or do you think they're going to be close in the proof or maybe even the MSRP?
This is what I think. I think that because of the aroma, the cologne aroma, I think they'll nail the Ben Holiday. The other one that's going to throw them first loop, it's probably the 10, because their palate is more inclined for like rye forward, like they can pick those up. I think the money, I think they'll be on the money. I think the proof, again, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I think it'll be tough.
So, I think, if I remember correctly, we reviewed both of these bourbons,
Yep.
and I'm pretty sure both our wives gave them a 10
Yeah. Oh, they did.
on the B&A scale, and that's kind of why I also chose it, just to kind of mess with their
Reiterate.
palate and
Let's
a little
see.
bit. So,
Yeah.
hopefully they choose a 10 again.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go
Hopefully.
get the girls.
All right.
All right. So the ladies are back, and obviously we talked a little bit about what we thought.
Yes.
We have a little side wager.
We gave our insight.
Our insight. I'm not very optimistic for either of you. However,
exciting.
we're hoping that in front of our audience that you guys will be able to showcase your talents, as we have reviewed both of these bottles of whiskey.
Okay.
Remember,
That limits
all
it then.
whiskey is not bourbon, but all bourbon is whiskey.
Yeah.
Having said that, that doesn't necessarily mean that both or either one
Or
are
bourbon.
bourbon.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, so why don't we start with the red label, if you guys take off the cover.
I think that's this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's yours.
Well, first off, it's got a very nice color.
Yes. There's a ridiculous amount in my glass, by the way.
This is like our final exam.
I know. I feel like I'm like on the spot.
All right, so I already gave you one hint.
It might not be a bourbon.
This has been a alcoholic drink we have reviewed.
Okay.
So even though we have a vast amount of inventory, we've only reviewed maybe 25, 30 different.
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, it smells spicy. I get a little bit of baking spice. Lots of cinnamon.
I was going to say it smells sweet.
Really? I
Yeah.
smell spice, so I am concerned.
Oh my.
But there
It
is a
smells very
sweet,
good.
there is a
There is.
sweetness to it.
A lot of vanilla.
Yeah, super
Okay.
sweet. A little bit of the baking spice in the back end, so I'm thinking since it might not be a bourbon, it might be a rye whiskey then. With that, with a little bit of spice, but a sweeter rye whiskey. So that kind of limits the options.
That does. And the
Or maybe a bourbon that's rye forward,
because I do agree with you that it is rye forward.
but it's a sweet rye.
It's very sweet. So it almost makes me think, is it Angel's Envy rye? Because
Ooh,
Angel's
that
Envy
is
is
one of my
finished in the
favorites.
rum barrel, which makes it sweeter.
Sweeter, yes. Or I don't think it's quite spicy enough to be the bourbon X rye, but I remember that one being a little bit on the more,
A little bit warmer.
yeah.
You're talking about the Knob Creek.
Knob
Yes.
Creek, yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah, it was very warm. all
It
the way
was, but
down.
it was good. So, sorry.
Well, before you guess what you think this one is, if you guys want to go ahead and grade
Yeah, you can.
this one, just what you think based on
Okay.
the color, the nose,
You know?
the palate, the finish. And then before we guess the name, let's move on to
To the next
two.
one. We will leave the name for last.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then I can taste both at the same
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
We can
Alright.
say which one's our favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an, oh gosh.
Well, I know already.
You have rated it.
This is
before.
fantastic.
It is very good.
It is a 9 for me. Hardly any of the like heat. Very smooth.
It is extremely smooth.
The only thing that it didn't give it a 10 is that the flavor on the back end of it is a little lacking. It doesn't have a lot of flavor. Like you drink it and it kind of disappears really quick. It doesn't have a lingering like.
So a short finish.
Yes.
Not such a long.
Yes, and I
Lingering
like that
finish.
when you get like the full flavor after and it fills your mouth up with,
Right, exactly.
yeah. So I mean that's the only reason it didn't get
give
the
it a
10.
9.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write that down here. Nicole.
I was going to give it an 8.
Ooh.
I'm like,
It's too sweet for her.
yes, yes, exactly. It's very sweet. But I'm not saying it's not good. It's amazing. It is,
What about just to throw a little? How about proof? What do you think?
proof. I'm going to say this is on the lower end.
I agree. It doesn't have a lot
Like
of
in
heat.
the 90s?
I was thinking that. And
Okay, you both are 90s. All right, so let's set those aside.
Okay.
And go ahead and do the same thing with yellow.
okay.
Oh my goodness.
Totally
Oh,
different.
wow.
Oh my!
Oh my gosh. That smells.
Does not have the baking spices. Like
Not
that.
at all. It's sweet and a little nutty.
Let's see. The color's pretty. It's almost the exact same color.
I mean, they
honestly.
really are. I
Yeah.
mean, that is almost, a ridiculous amount in my glass again. I'm
I was
looking
going to
at
say, hey, you got more than me.
I know, I did.
You're going home a winner.
I know. It must be one of my favorites, so.
Either way, you're scoring.
You're scoring one way or another.
It's like, she's going to like this. I'll give her more.
My first reaction is it's a lot thicker.
Okay.
Like it's
Creamier almost,
yes.
So, but the back end of the dry, after you swallow it, becomes dry again.
It does, and it's got more heat. Surprisingly.
Oh, more
Get
heat.
that? Maybe I need to take
Yeah,
another.
I feel more warmth going down the back of my throat.
Okay.
Which that one for me did not have heat at all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, mine kind of stops at the throat. It doesn't go all the way down, but yeah, it stops right about there.
Interesting. I
But
don't know. This is really hard. I'm gonna totally fail.
so you
I'm
don't.
sure.
I didn't smell the baking spices, but I taste
Right.
baking spices.
Yes.
So that is interesting as well. So it doesn't smell like a rye, but it tastes more like a rye.
Maybe it's rye forward.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I almost feel like this one's more rye forward than the other one. So
Alright.
if I
It's
was
just
going to
like-
do proof, I would do it probably 100 or up, a little bit, not much. I think
Nice.
I think the proof
think
is
it's a
higher
little-
than that one.
It's just a different mouthfeel.
Completely different mouthfeel.
So
I'll give you another hint. for everybody at home, this is almost impossible. I don't know that I would be able to guess this. The price range is in between $50 and $100.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that narrows some of the bourbon options down just by saying that. I would say that this one, if it is what I think it is, it's probably going to be, I would say 80s to 90s. So in the 80s somewhere.
Okay.
If it is what I think it is.
We're
Okay,
gonna
so
rate
on
it.
mouthfeel alone, it's amazing. I would give it a 9 or a 10. I mean, that is just
9 or 10.
super creamy and
Just
thick.
based on the
Just on the mouthfeel.
Just on the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your
But
overall rating?
overall, I'm probably still going to give it an 8.
Okay.
Well, this one, I mean, I think it has a wonderful smell. And the color's beautiful. The flavor is there on the finish, which I thought the other one was kind of lacking a little bit. This one has that full flavored finish. It does have a little bit more of the cinnamon and spice on the palate. So I'm probably going to stick with a 9 just because of those switches. So it has the finish, but it's a little too spicy.
Right.
But the other one didn't have the spice, but it lost the finish. So.
Right, right.
Okay. Now back on the red. Let's go ahead and kind of guess ballpark MSRP. You were around 80 for the yellow. Yeah. She was $68. So what do you think on this one? Again, I was between $40 and $100.
I think this one's close to 100 because I think it's a rye.
Ooh. I think it is a rye too. But I wonder if we're thinking it's the same rye.
Probably. That's probably why we're thinking 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I agree. I have a fairly good idea what this one is.
Okay. Well, let's go to your guess. You're already
so
probably narrowed
wrong.
it down. That's all right.
I know. But we're thinking the same thing on this one.
Yeah.
And I think it's the Angels Envy.
Right. Yeah. That's what I think as well. It has the same flavor, like the smell to it that I can remember from it. Wonderful taste.
It's warm,
Yeah.
but not spicy.
Not hot. Yeah.
All right, for you guys at home, you obviously know what it is.
Yes.
Are they correct? Okay, that's fine.
So
Okay.
we get multiple guesses?
Nope.
Dang it.
So now let's move on to the
Yellow dot.
This one I was worried about.
Yellow dot.
I'll just refresh.
The nose.
You thought this was
I'm only smelling cigar.
Oh,
you thought this was $68. You thought it was $80. You both were thinking it's 100
Yeah.
proof. Your ratings were 8 and 9.
all right.
Trisha, what do you think on a guess? She changed her price, but she didn't guess it.
I don't know why, but it's really spicy now.
That's why I took a drink and I'm like, oh, I think I know what this is. And I'm going to be wrong.
And you can stick with your price. That's fine. I mean, we can't be here for 5 hours.
I'll stick with it.
Yeah.
So,
I'll stick with it.
okay, so what
All
do you
right.
think this yellow?
What do you think it
first?
is? Go for it. Tell us what it is.
for it.
This is a bottle of.
I'm going to go with Russell's 10
Okay.
because I just remember Russell's 10. It was an amazing bourbon, but it was so different from all the bourbons too. And this mouthfeel is so different.
And here, I was thinking it was Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, because I really liked how Yellowstone like flavor and their finish was. But I thought they were a little bit spicy, but they had a great finish, and that's what I liked about Yellowstone. So that's why I was like, ooh, we need to change
Is that
the
your
price.
choice?
Yeah.
Okay, are they right at home, people?
Both of us are wrong.
All right, so
Both of us are wrong.
I'm gonna let you choose one more guess. I'm gonna narrow it down for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna narrow it down.
Okay.
Give us a hit on
I'm
yellow.
gonna give you. On the yellow. This one is not a Kentucky bourbon. The second hint
If
is
it's a bourbon, it has to be. So that's
you
a
both
given.
reviewed this and you both gave it a 10.
It's Bottled in Bond by Ben Holiday.
It's got to be Ben Holiday then. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Are they correct? Congratulations.
Yeah. I
you're
didn't smell like
right.
it.
Good
but-
job.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
I
had to
figured
narrow
the
it down.
cologne. I figured the
I know, the
cologne. You guys were
smell
gonna be
doesn't-
like, oh my.
Maybe it just smells like that straight out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Because it smells so amazing.
Oh,
but
it smells-
It does
the
smell good.
mouthfeel
Yeah, I
is
mean,
what
when you
got
guys
me.
picked it up and you
Yeah.
immediately said, "Oh my God, this smells
Yeah.
amazing,"
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
oh.
"Oh, they got it,"
Yeah.
because that was like the number one
The
thing.
number one
Yeah,
thing
it
that
does.
all of us
all the
remember
time.
on the review
Yeah.
said was like, "I
It
can wear
does.
this.
Yeah.
It smells amazing."
It does.
Okay,
But
so
now we know the mouthfeel is very creamy.
yeah, so remember the Ben Holiday Bottle and Bond. Obviously, being bottled and
Yep.
bond, it has to be 100 proof.
100 proof, yeah.
And the MSRP on this, you actually came down to the price. It was $50.
Oh.
I think it's 55.
55, yeah.
Yeah, $55 MSRP.
I got
And they're
something right.
Out
Yep.
of Missouri.
They are.
They
Ben
are
Holiday is out of
yeah.
Missouri.
So when you said not Kentucky, it kind of was like,
Okay, so back up to the red.
oh no.
Again, this one is a distillery in the state of Kentucky.
It's not Angel's Envy Rye, by the way.
And we reviewed this one. And I'm positive, I'd have to go back and look, but I think both of you also gave it a 10. If it wasn't a 10, it was like a 9.5. I'm pretty sure Trish gave it a 10 though.
This
She
gotta
always
be
gives
Russell's
something.
10.
I know.
Your final answer.
I was
That's my
thinking
final
that
answer.
when you said that on the other one, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's what this one is.
It's either Russell's 10 or Bourbon X Rye, because I gave that one a 10 too.
All right, you can only choose one.
You can only choose
Okay, did
one.
we both give them 10s?
I think you guys both
All right.
gave them.
Can you give
9.5,
us one
10.
more hint that isn't about something on the show that you might remember or might not? Like another hint on it.
Let's see. We met the master distiller.
That was wild.
Ooh. The master distiller?
Yes, so it's Russell's 10.
Well, it's
Congratulations,
50-50.
Trisha. You got it right.
Oh,
You
good
got it
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is the Russell's 10.
Russell's 10.
I'm positive you gave it a 10. I want to say you
Oh,
were
I'm sure I did.
9.5.
It's delicious.
I mean, they're both
If I
pretty close in
didn't-
profile.
They are.
I thought the only thing that would give it away would be the
Was the
smell.
Smell.
Yeah.
No.
the
Smell,
nose.
yeah.
Yes, they look almost identical.
They
Which,
do.
Yeah, and actually, believe it or not, the Russell's 10 MSRP is cheaper. It's like $45.
Yeah.
It's
Really?
almost $10
My
cheaper.
goodness.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're both very affordable and excellent ones.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we highly recommend either or both. Like I said, we've reviewed. I'll put a link down here below for the previous video where we did review them. And we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our video. We hope you found it entertaining. And
Yes.
as always, please hit that like and that subscribe. Hit that share. It really helps get that
Content
channel
out there. Yeah,
for people
absolutely.
to see what we're doing. And as always, please drink responsibly.